Good morning. It's just on 10 o'clock here in the UK and we're in for the final session this week, which is going to be an upper body session. I've got myself a Mango Loco Monster. I'm not someone that tends to drink Monster just because about a year ago I got Invisalign and I got composite bonding. However, I feel like I needed it today just because yesterday was a bit of a struggle. I've not ran caffeine probably in about 6 or 7 months, but I thought, hey, why not bring it into the video? It's not my favorite. I think the white Monster itself is absolutely goated, but we'll give this a try. Yeah, it's pretty good, to be fair, but I still think the white Monster is at the top. I think the reason I bought these was because I actually bought them in Costco. They were on a discount, so I think it was like £1 per Monster, but these were on the side and I got 8 for about £3.50, and it's because they've got this thing here, the Call of Duty Black Ops 7. I don't have Black Ops 7 myself, but I did get Black Ops 6 last year and I absolutely loved it. So yeah, we're heading to the gym now, upper body session. I'm going to film it all for you, and I'm also going to take you on that journey with me and just kind of discuss my training split, sort of what I'm focusing towards right now that I've transitioned from bodybuilding and power building into hybrid training, because a little bit later, you obviously can't see, I've got my final endurance session of this week. It's a 50 or 55 minute continuous run, and yeah, I need to get in the mindset for that because in the UK right now, it's cold, it's dark, it's wet, it's not the most pleasant, but I know that when I get out there and when I do it, afterwards I feel 10 times better. I'll see you at the gym. So we've just pulled up to the gym and I want to give you an insight into my life, my training, specifically what my goals are right now. So at the moment we are in a fat loss phase. I've been dieting for the best part of 8 weeks and I've dropped 9 kilo. I came down from 100 kilo and I'm now 91 kilos. And about 5 weeks into that deficit, I decided enough was enough. Now I needed to try something new. And I've been toying with the idea for the best part of 2 years, but when you become accustomed to something and your daily routine revolves around it, specifically power building or bodybuilding. I've been training for the best part of 10 years now. Probably even more than that. I've been training since I was 10, and it's very difficult to go from one thing and then try something new, especially when you're not very good at it. So I started hybrid training about 5 weeks ago, and I've been recording my runs on Strava, and it's probably been the best thing that I've done, or the decision that I've made whilst in this deficit, because it's allowed me not to overanalyze absolutely everything when it comes to my training. I used to be someone that goes into the gym and my pre-workout meal wasn't exactly timed. I get in my head about, okay, maybe my performance would drop, but since I've been running, my mindset is absolutely bulletproof now. And I think it's because halfway through those runs, I want to give up, but I know that once I complete it, by the end of that run, I just have this huge dopamine hit and I want to go and do it again. So I'm currently training 4 days per week, push, pull, legs, upper. I used to train upper, lower, again for the best part of 10 years, and I would say for anybody starting out, especially if you want to increase the frequency of your training and you want to move from a full body split, go for upper lower. It helped me to squat 302.5 kilos, bench 200 kilos, and then deadlift 320 kilos. And that's just through pure consistency and discipline and determination to hit those numbers. Training leads twice a week, it's tough. And even training leads now, when I've done maybe 1 or 2 runs prior in the week, going into those sessions where my legs are a little bit sore and I've got to hit specific numbers, just allows me to dig a little bit deeper when it comes to my mindset. And I'm a firm believer in the mind. So if the mind believes it, the body will most definitely achieve it. If you're telling yourself that you're tired, you're lethargic, you're fatigued, I didn't sleep well last night, it's raining outside, I'm not going to get my steps in, or I'm not going to go to the gym, that is the reason that you're not in shape. And since I've started running, I've stopped overanalyzing everything when it comes to my training or my lifestyle, because there's so many different things going on in my life right now. And I want to bring you along that journey. So at the moment, my partner's granddad, he's in the final stages of pancreatic cancer, and we've been caring for him specifically. I mean, he's 89 for the last couple of years, but his health has significantly got worse, and he's been in hospital, and, you know, it's late nights, it's super early mornings, but I know myself to be the best possible version of myself and to be that high performer where I'm performing to a standard that I know will help me achieve my goals in the gym, but also as a business owner for Fit Coach, and as a partner, as a son-in-law, as a brother-in-law. If I don't look after myself, I'm not going to be able to look after those that are most important to me. So health and fitness and lifting weights and improving, you know, your overall physique or your cardiovascular fitness, it goes way beyond sort of like the physical benefits. There are mental benefits, which the list is probably way longer, in my opinion, compared to the physical benefits. So we're going to jump into upper now. I'm going to record the session. I'm going to talk you through it. And yeah, looking forward to it. We'll finish off the Mango Loco.
So welcome to my full upper A resistance training session. As previously mentioned, this session was a little bit rushed just because we had to get back for the carers for Sid. Nonetheless, it was a great workout, and we started with a pronated pull down. I always like to start with a back movement at the beginning of my session, just so that I can warm up my lats, my upper back, so that I'm a little bit more stable heading into any form of pressing movement. I think I did 2 sets here, around 6 to 9 repetitions for the first set, and then 10 to 15 repetitions on the second set. We then moved on to a plate-loaded incline press. This is from Hammer Strength, and you can see I'm actually using wrist wraps. It's because the actual grip on the handles was sliding off, maybe because my hands were a little bit sweaty, or the fact that there's not a lot of glue underneath the handles. Nonetheless, we still managed to hit, I think it was around 6 to 8 repetitions for both sets. Again, a huge PB at this body weight, so 9 kilos down, and yeah, it felt really, really good. We then moved on to a single arm cable row, really emphasizing the lats here in that stretched position, and then driving that elbow towards the hip. I really like this cable movement. It would be even better if I could use a bench setup where I've got a little bit more stability. I can actually hold on to that bench. We then moved on to a plate loaded fly. So this is brand new. I was actually going to run a pec deck, but I thought, why not try this for this session, just because the pec deck was being used. It's really nice in that stretched position. And then as you sort of come to the top of that contraction, nice big squeeze, and then controlled on the way down. Really, really nice piece of equipment here. And I think I did 2 sets again, 10 to 15 repetitions. Another angle for you. I think I've got, was it 40 kilos? Since then, since recording this actually, I think I've managed to add like 20 to 25 kilos on top of this load. But again, it's not really about the load here. It's more about the contraction and pausing in that lengthened position. We then move on to a pin-loaded lateral raise. I don't like to use the handles here just because it puts me in an awkward position, especially when I'm trying to raise my upper arm. Instead, I like to use any form of clip and actually hold on to the clips. The clips are in use. Someone was barbell benching, so I'm just gripping onto the end of my jumper, and then I'm trying to drive my arms out to 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. I think I did a drop set here. So the first set, then straight into a drop set, high repetitions, 10 to 15 reps. We're pausing at the top of that range, keeping our chest nice and braced against that pad. Deep breath in at the bottom, and then deep breath out at the top. But again, really nice contraction here on the lateral deltoid. We then moved into some dumbbell curls. Very old school classic movement. Is it the best for building your biceps? In my opinion, no. I would actually say a preacher curl is, but I just fancy doing some dumbbell curls. I think one of the lads in the background sort of like caught my eye in the camera. We then moved on to a tricep pushdown. So here, using the stack, really trying to keep my elbows as close to my rib cage as I possibly can, pausing at the top of that range, then driving straight down. Obviously with the straight bar, you can't get your wrists past your hips, but I'm really trying my hardest to push it towards my hip and then away from me. I think using a rope would be a little bit more favorable, but to be honest, I like using a straight bar for this movement. We then finished off with some physique posing. Again, 9 kilos down. Since recording this, I'm now 15 kilos down. But yeah, I was happy with my physique visuals for this session.
We are back from the gym, and what a session that was. It was slightly rushed, but nonetheless, we still put the effort in. We still got the work done. And on the way home, I had some pretty big nostalgia because I don't know if you've ever heard of K-Motions, but I remember in COVID, COVID was 5 years ago, shoulder pressing 52.5 kilo dumbbells. It was the only dumbbells that we had at the time in my university house. I remember trying to get them from the floor and actually balancing them overhead on my sofa. And for those of you that listen to drum and bass, I absolutely love drum and bass. I was listening to K-Motion's Summer Selection, and whilst I was swiping through sort of my playlist, K-Motion came up. He was recently out in America, and I want you to listen to this. This is, yeah. It's just on 5 o'clock here in the UK, and I'm about to head out for my final endurance run this week. It's time-based, it's not distance-based. However, I do have a distance that I want to hit in mind, around 7 or 8K, just for 50 to 55 minutes. It's looking very cold and wet outside. Usually I wear my white Brooks glycerin shoes. I actually picked them up in Florida at the start of last year, and they cost probably like £220 to £250, and the heel on them are super thick, but they're just so comfy. But I don't really want to get them soaking wet and dirty, so I'm actually going to run in my Nike Gore-Tex tonight. I've had them for 2.5 years. I actually picked them up from Nike when I did a Spartan probably about 2.5 years ago. If those of you don't know what Spartan is, it's a bit like a Tough Mudder, except it's way more technical. There's athletes in there. It's way more advanced, I would say, and it feels like a competition. So my mindset is good today. My body is a little bit fatigued, so obviously I had upper earlier, and then I did legs yesterday. I'll attach some videos of legs somewhere on the screen. We managed to hit 6 plates on the pendulum for 10 reps. By no means a PB. However, at this body weight, 10 kilos down, or 9 to 10 kilos down, I would say we're on par with like peak strength. So I'm recovering well. My mindset's in a good place. I think tonight I just need to get the headphones in underneath my beanie, just because it is a little bit cold out there. So we got the Carhartt beanie, and yeah, it's just time to focus and get to work.
About halfway into the run, I'm feeling it tonight, but nonetheless, we get the work done. My right knee is playing up a little bit. I tore my meniscus, my ACL, probably just over 10 years ago now, and it's not been right ever since. But head down, push through. Halfway. I almost tried to jump that, and I realised if I did and I injured myself, I'd be completely out. So we got a bit of a second wind, glycogen kicking in, and yeah, starting to enjoy it a little bit more. That is 50 minutes of continuous running done. and it's probably been my best run to date. Not in terms of performance, but in terms of mindset, because I did upper a little bit earlier. My knees were hurting about 20 minutes into tonight's run, probably based on the fact that they're still fatigued from legs yesterday. But nonetheless, I went into a flow state. So flow state means for me, just channeling my thoughts away from any sort of pain or discomfort, because it's wet outside, my knees were hurting, I had a stitch, and I could either give up then or I could push through. And after those 20 minutes, I really started to dig, and once I went into that flow state, everything became a hell of a lot easier. I started to focus on my stride length, so that was in rhythm, whereas I realized that first 15-20 minutes it wasn't, and I was almost like stuttering rather than having a continuous stride length. But all in all, really glad that I managed to get it done tonight. We are going to round off the video there. If you enjoy this type of content, make sure to like and subscribe. Go and check out my other socials at JackFitCoach on Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, wherever you are. I'm everywhere. I shall see you in the next video.